Hey there, everybody. This is Jim, and this is my first uh, Colts video. Been wanting to do this for a long time. I could sit and talk about the Colts 24/7. Just need someone to listen to me. My wife will not. Um, so anyway, quickly, a little background on myself. I've been a Colts fan since 1977. I live in Schererville, Indiana. Um, but I was a Colts fan when they were the Baltimore Colts when I was a kid in grade school, and which was challenging because this is Bear territory, kind of still is. But back then, there was no direct TV, there was no Sunday ticket. Uh, so I was hoping, either the Colts were on Monday Night Football, um, which didn't happen a lot that back then, or just to get a glimpse of them. Maybe Howard Cosell would do a halftime highlights, and you'd hope you get to see 10 seconds of it. But basically, I was had to read the box scores in the newspaper on Monday to get any kind of information on the Colts. But as a big fan, had for Christmas every year, I got jerseys and jackets and radios and helmets and banks and any pajamas and all the stuff that came out of that Sears catalog. Anybody, in my age and maybe early 50s might remember that old Sears catalog that had all the NFL stuff. But got that, got all that stuff. And then, in 1984, the Colts moved to Indianapolis, which is crazy because I was, a little over 2 hours from where I lived. And like, holy smokes, this is great. And I've been a season ticket holder since 1988. I was 19 years old. First time I got tickets. The tickets were $19 a piece. Like one ticket for the whole season was $190 compared to $1,000 now. So times have certainly changed. So yes, so I make the drive down there. Try to go to every game. Don't like missing unless it's I have to, and I try to limit those. So a couple Colts. I've been to both Super Bowls that the Colts played in Indianapolis, both in Miami. One was good and one was not so good. The good one was in the rain, which is shockingly the only Super Bowl to ever rain in, and that had to be the one I was at. But the result was good, especially playing against the Bears, where all people around here and my friends are all Bears fans. So that was nice. And then one of the cool things, and you can see the picture in my background here, that I actually got to represent the Colts in the 2018 NFL draft. So I got to go on stage with Goodell. Quentin, unfortunately, was the pick, but he wasn't at the draft. I didn't get a chance to meet him, but I got to go carry the jersey out that Goodell gives to the player, but that never happened. But there's a picture of me, move out of the way, with Goodell with the jersey. So that was kind of cool. And then I actually got to announce I'm a 7th round pick myself up on the stage, and that was the pick of Matthew Adams out of Houston, linebacker. I was paranoid and scared that it was going to be some long like Samoan name or something like that. So I was very happy that Matthew Adams was the pick. So I have a 12-year-old son, Brody. He will be on here as well at some time. He is an all-in Attic fan now. Comes to all the games with me. We do father-son trips every year. We've gone 4 so far. This past year was in Miami. Our record on the trips is 3-1. Got wins in Washington, Kansas City, and Miami, and our loss was in Cincinnati back in 2017. But he's a savant, and it's great to experience the stuff with him. So, and he loves talking about football too. So you will see him on here a lot. So anyway, that's enough about me. So let's talk about the state of the Colts right now. We just made the trade with Carson the other day. So now we are a team without a quarterback, a starting caliber quarterback, but we have $70 million in cap space. So, I think, and you heard the term thrown around, we were in quarterback hell, or well, that's hell strong. We'll call it purgatory, quarterback purgatory, where since Andrew retired, we just have not been able to nail down this quarterback situation for, more than a year. And really the no fault of Ballard. People got to think about this, is that when Luck retired, it was August. It was 2 weeks before the season was going to start. And so there was no chance for the team to fix that situation then. So they had to go with Jacoby, and they had to put a good front up and say, yeah, we're supporting Jacoby, and he, the team was competitive that year, but Jacoby had a lot of weaknesses. So the next year, you're talking about a team that's built to win. You got to remember the year before Andrew retired, they won, they were in the playoffs. They'd won a game in the playoffs and they lost at Kansas City. But the team was definitely, you asked me in the middle of 2019, before Andrew retired, people were bullish on the Colts, and that this was a team that was loaded at a lot of positions. So, the team is ready to win. So they went with Jacoby, didn't happen. I personally, I was very happy to move on from him. He was very limited. So they brought in Rivers, and Rivers, did well. But the reason they brought in Rivers versus drafting somebody is because they were in a win now mode. They didn't want to redshirt a season because of a rookie quarterback. I mean, not one rookie quarterback has ever won a Super Bowl, and heck, I'm not even sure one's ever gone to one. I checked that, but so they're in a win now mode. So they trade their first rounder to get Buckner. Great move, in my opinion. Buckner's a great player, and then they signed Rivers and said this team is built to win now. And they did. They made the playoffs and actually should have beat Buffalo, outplayed Buffalo, just made some poor mistakes and weren't able to capitalize on some situations and lost that game. So, but Rivers decides to retire after 1 year. So the Colts again are stuck in this purgatory, I guess. And again, with a team to win now. So, drafting a quarterback, again, another rookie would set you back maybe a year, and they were trying to win now. And that was the reason they went and got Carson. And crazy as bad as Carson was this season, I guess, and the reason he's not here now, but he was markedly better than he was in 2020 with the Eagles. Again, the numbers aren't terrible, but we all know, what he did at the end of the season. He kind of folded at the end of the season, but the intent there was you got this guy that I think, get him back on track. He could be your quarterback for the next 8 years, and it just didn't work out. He wasn't a good fit. Didn't play well, but I just don't think that he was a good fit with the organization. Jim Irsay did not like him, and that was the kiss of death. So he's gone. So now we're stuck here again. This will be the 6th quarterback, or actually for Frank, this will be his 5th year, and this will be his 5th straight different quarterback, which is crazy when you think about it, for a team that's a competitive team. So what are your options here? So I think it's going to be interesting. We got to get out of this rut. We got to get out of this Band-Aid here. And the options in my mind are 3. So obviously you can make a trade for, in my mind, there's only 2 guys you could trade for at this time that I'd be willing, want to do. And that would be for Derek Carr or Kyler Murray. I have no interest in trading draft picks for Jimmy Garoppolo at all. I just don't think he's an upgrade. He's coming off an injury. He's injury prone. That's just not. And again, he's not a guy that I could see 5 years down the road being the quarterback for the Colts. So I'm not going to waste draft capital on that. So the trading for, in my opinion, Carr, seems to be a lot of chatter about that right now, and Kyler Murray, which not so much chatter, but sounds like, I don't know if that situation is quite resolved there. So you could do that. You could sign a free agent quarterback, Band-Aid. There's not a lot of good ones out there, but you got $70 million in cap space. So you have Jameis Winston, Marcus Mariota, Mitch Trubisky. Those are probably the 3 best ones out there. And quite frankly, none of those excite me. I don't think any of them are long-term solutions. So that's not where I'd like to go. If we don't trade for Carr or Kyler Murray, I am hopeful for the 3rd option is just drafting a guy this year. And, you hear a lot of, oh, this is a terrible year for quarterbacks. Who knows that? Who says that? I mean, in years that are like, oh, this is a great year for quarterbacks. I mean, there's guys that are terrible. Mitch Trubisky, the year that Mitch Trubisky came out, 17, he was a 2nd pick in the draft. He's already going to be on his 3rd team already in 5 years. 2nd pick in the draft. So those are no guarantees. And, as good as, and these analysts think they are, you just don't know. You can't sit there and say this is not a good draft. Because they're not ranked that high doesn't mean they're not going to be a good NFL player. So So drafting a guy is probably where I land. And the guy I really would like is Matt Corral. And I don't know if he would be there at 42 or we're now picking in the second round. I think maybe a trade up into the first round would be beneficial. A, better chance of getting him. But B, you get that 5th-year option on a first rounder. But I've kind of fallen. He's kind of my draft crush right now for the Colts. Really would like to have him. And I think what we're going to find out next week, starting Monday, when players start agreeing to contract terms in free agency, we're going to find out what the Colts are going to do. They have all this cap space. If they go out and sign a bunch of players and use up a lot of that cap space, but don't sign a quarterback or trade for one, that means they're probably going draft because quarterback, drafting quarterback is cheap against the salary cap. So that would lead me to believe if they really use a lot of that cap space next week, they're going draft, which is fine. Now, if they don't, I think that if they really kind of are real careful and don't spend a lot of the money next week in free agency when it starts, and again, 70 million more than any team, I really think that there's a trade brewing, and for a big, again, a Murray or a Carr, someone that they need a lot of cap space to pay a contract extension. So you're talking 35, $40 million a year. So, if they're keeping that big cap space, that's telling me that they're probably a trade in the works. If they sign a Mariota or a Winston, I don't know what the hell that means. I guess ultimately, that means they could also, sign a guy like that and then still go draft one. Or maybe they'll just sign a guy like that and then draft a quarterback next year. Maybe there's a guy next year's draft they like better. But again, I think, unless we can get Carr Murray, I am all on the draft Matt Corral train. So I just, again, or at least to draft a rookie quarterback train and let him start this year. But Corral's the guy I want. So the Colts obviously have other needs as well: left tackle, wide receiver, tight end, and defensive backs. We can call it safety or corner. I think there's a weakness there. So, there's guys, I'm telling you, the guys that I really would like to see. Oh, defensive end as well. So I can't forget that. So you have the draft and you have free agency to address these things. And, some guys I really would like to target this year, especially on the defensive side. I'm sorry, let's swing big. Bring in Chandler Jones. I would love to see him on the other side of Quiddy and this new Gus Bradley defense. I think he'd be great. He's still pretty young. Not like a 6-year deal or anything like that, but let's bring him in for a 3-year deal or some sort. Wide receiver. A lot of those guys were franchised by their current team, but Allen Robinson's a guy that I've been wanting the Colts to somehow acquire for a long time. He's still only 28. He'll be 29 before the season, when the season starts, but that's still pretty young. Again, 3-year deal. I think he's got some good years left. Tight end, honestly, people laugh at me, but honestly, I'd take a swipe at Gronk or Zach Ertz. Tight end, not so much in free agency, because I think tight end could really be addressed in the draft with a couple guys I'm going to mention. And then, tackle. I just think it's unrealistic to go after the Terrence, I think Armstead from New Orleans. It'd just be too much money wrapped up into the O-line with Kelly and Nelson and now this guy. So I don't think he's not really an option, but Matt Pryor could be an option there. I don't know. He's only started 1 game, but that's a problem. There's not going to bring back Fisher, doesn't look like. So we got to find a left tackle somewhere. And I don't know if maybe it's a lower tier free agent, or I don't know, maybe they go out a 2nd-round pick and use that on a left tackle. But so those are sort of the needs out there. So I guess, just for fun, I was going to do a mock draft for the Colts, and we got to kind of set up, do a 7-round mock draft, and see how this comes out. So here we go. And we're off. So there we go. Again, well, there's so much with Matt Corral. We don't like that. They went out so early. I think, you know, there are two quarterbacks, or we, you know, determined there are 7 teams that need quarterbacks right now, including the Colts, Seahawks, Steelers, Tampa Bay, Detroit, Carolina, New Orleans, and so these teams need quarterbacks. And so you got to remember Jimmy G's out there, and so is Watson. So two of those quarterbacks can go to those teams. So we're going to get one of the top 5 quarterbacks if we so choose, if we want them. And let's see if this draft does it. So, all right, here we go. We got to pick. You know, honestly, in this draft, I really like to have as many. I like to have these picks in the top 80. So we're getting a trade offer here to move down 12 spots, but we pick up 85. Let's see. Okay, from the page, let's see. And then this one, this one isn't bad, but it's moving down 22 spots. Let's see who's still on the board before we make this. So let's see here. Let's move up the board. And who is out there? So offense, let's see. Let's first check quarterback. I don't want Carson Strong. I don't think I want Desmond Ridder. So I think my dream of drafting a quarterback is not good. So hopefully the Colts have either made a trade or signed, you know, someone. So I want my tight ends and wide receivers in this draft, a strong wide receiver draft. Let's see, receiver. Yeah. All right. So what I'm going to do, so this is interesting. So Ritter's at 48. I think I'm going to take this trade with New England. And so we're going to move to 54. So we'll have 54, 72 from which is the pick from the Redskins or from the Commanders, 80 and 85. So my hope is that we could snatch a receiver, maybe Watson, Christian Watson, or one of the good receivers, and let's see if Ritter's there at 54. I'm going to take that gamble, so I'm going to accept this trade. See what happens. Come off the board here. Okay, they're strong. He's gone. Okay, that's fine. Pierce Williams. Boom, boom. Oh, Ritter went right before us. Oh, goodness gracious. That didn't work out too good. All right. Damn it. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and reject these trades, and we're going to start drafting some guys. So we do have some picks coming up here. So another need is wide receiver and tight end. Oof. Trey McBride is still there, but my tight end crush that I think I really would like, and he's way down here. I don't know why he's so far down here anymore, but it's this, what the heck is he? Jelani Woods from, he's actually from Virginia. I don't know, it says Oklahoma State, but the guy was a beast at the combine. So that's a guy I want to target in the late rounds. But receivers, we're going to take Watson here. I think he's just a stud. So we're going to take Christian Watson there. So we got one of our receivers, a playmaker. Hopefully we got one in free agency by this point. All right. Now we're into round 3. Coming up again. Actually 73, not 72. Yeah, no, I'm not interested in that, so I'm going to reject that. All right, so we're now up. Tight end. McBride is still there. That's a shocker. Let me see what the tackles. Ooh. So I'm actually going to grab, because I think I like Ryan. How do I say his name? Raymond. I do like him, so I'm going to take a gamble and hope that he's there with our next pick. So I'm going to go with McBride here. So got a tight end, got a receiver. Let's see. Here we come. No, sir. No, thank you, New England. Right, 82. All right, offensive tackle. Yep, he's there. I'm going to take, so there's our tackle. So we've addressed tight end, receiver, and tackle. Okay. I'm not sure if I'm interested in that. Let's see. 93 to 172. Move down 8 spots and pick up another one. Let me see if I can counter Cardinals. Now they don't really have anything I want, so I'm gonna cancel. I want that one. This one, there's no one that I absolutely love right now, but let's see. I do want Wan'Dale Robinson. He's still there. Ooh, George Pickens though. Should I take the gamble? Let's see. Let's go to the best. There's an edge from South Carolina. I think I'm going to make this trade with the 49 or with the Cardinals. No, sorry, with the 49ers. Pick up a pick here. 170 this is a deep draft. And we're gonna grab a second receiver at our next pick. So let's go ahead and accept this trade. If Pickens is still there, that'd be pretty amazing. Wow. Look at these trade offers. No, I don't want that one. This one's intriguing. I'm gonna move down 11 spots and see what receivers are there. Pickens, boy, this is pretty good actually. And then we pick up. Yeah, I actually, you know, I'm going to reject this. I just don't want to take any chances. So I am going to go. I'm going to draft another receiver, and we're going to load up. Let's just see what it says about it. Let's just read about him. Big dude. Actually, I know I'm going to go with Wan'Dale Robinson. This is a kid I love. Man, with him and Watson, I just think we have a lot of matchups, problems, and speed. So we are going to take him. All right, continue on here. So right now we got 2 receivers, a tight end, and a tackle. So now I think we need to address corner or safety. My hope is that I'm going through this draft that we've addressed edge and through the free agency. So we'll see what happens here. All right, here we come. I'll take a look at something else. So let's see. I'm gonna go defense. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know a lot about these corners, so let's go to all. We're at 121. I don't really want a running back. I was no, not interested. Let's go ahead and grab this kid from Nebraska. Corner addresses a need. We'll take him. And in this draft, we are drafting a kicker, by the way, and because we have Rodrigo and we have Badgley, and I think neither one of those guys are capable of making a 55-yard field goal if we needed it. So I am all in the draft. I mean, I just don't get it because there's like the kicker is a huge position, and people are afraid to draft in the 6th. I mean, 6th-round picks, 7th-round picks. Those guys are usually not seeing the field. So I'm drafting a kicker and probably in the 6th round. Not interested, so I'll reject that. I think 50,000 picks. All right. Good. It's a kid from Miami of Ohio, edge rusher. No, nothing on him. That's right. Let's see if there's any safety. That's defense, safety. Right around here, there's a kid. I'm gonna go with this kid here. It's right in the wheelhouse. So now we got 2 defensive backs now. So I think we're really filling the needs, which is good. Okay, we're coming up again at 172. This is good. I'm looking to see if honestly, I want to see if my tight end is there still. He's still there. I just can't believe this has been updated since the combine because that guy crushed it at the combine. You can't have enough guards. See the defensive side of things. edge in Western Kentucky. Long frame. Slippery as a rusher. All right, this guy, I think I'm sold on this guy. I'm gonna grab this guy here. I'm gonna grab D'Angelo Malone, edge rusher. So now we've got 3 offensive players, we've got 3 defense players, and we're going up again here, which is great. Nice to have picks. All right. So now let's find us. Yes, this is right in the range. I don't care what anybody says, and I don't care where he's at. I am drafting Jelani Woods here, the 5th round. All right, 6th round. We are drafting our kicker in the 6th round, and I don't know who the kickers are. I don't write the book, but I'm going to draft the highest rated kicker. I think it's a kid from Iowa State, I believe. But whoever it is, I'm taking him because we need to have that guy. So there we go. Come on up, and then here we go. 217. We're taking our kicker. I don't care. Again, we're not kicker. Cade York, and then there's Mevis from Iowa State. I'm just Dan Vagum. Okay, 7th round. Finishing up here. I'm not even sure we have a 7th round pick. I know we traded I think we gave it up in the Wentz trade. I mean, we had 2 of them. I don't know. We'll see here. We may be done. And I think that's it. That's the one thing I like about this particular model of simulators. It doesn't tell you like your team, like how many picks you have or where your picks are. That would be nice if it told you that, but it does not. Almost done here. There we go. So there's our draft. We are done. So we have got Christian Watson, from wide receiver, who I love. McBride, who's my favorite tight end. He's my version of Freiermuth, who I had crushed on last year. Got a tackle, who I think is a beast. Watched them at the Senior Bowl. Wandale Robinson, I think this guy is kind of like he could be our Tyreek Hill. I really think he's that good. Then we draft some players I don't know anything about, but we had just positions: cornerback, safety, edge. Got my guy Jelani, who I think is going to be an absolute beast. The guy's a monster. And then our kicker. So I am not. I think this is. I'm happy with this. So I think we're good there on this draft. So I'm happy with that. And then hopefully again, free agency. We'll address some of these other needs in free agency. So we'll see what happens. Really all the action is going to start on Monday. Probably do another video then. I will hopefully have some, good news to talk about. As we near the end here, I think I'm going to finish up every broadcast, I guess, for lack of a better term, with I'm a big craft beer guy. And so I'm going to feature. So today, actually I live 15 minutes from Three Floyds Brewing in Munster, Indiana. And right now I'm drinking I can't see it, shit. Coca-Munga. It's a barrel-aged coconut stout. It's a big one though. It's a 16.5%. It's nice. Just FYI, all stouts should be drank at room temperature to get all the flavors. That's just my opinion. But anyway, thanks for watching. Hope it wasn't too boring. I just love talking about this stuff, and I could do it all day. But anyway, cheers, guys. And if you're a Colts fan, let's go ahead and post some comments or below. I hope I'll do a more advanced and a more sophisticated version of this type of thing in the future. I just wanted to try this out the first time. Anyway, cheers, you guys, Colts fans, and Have a great weekend, and let's hit it in free agency on Monday. Cheers, man.